And next this week we saw Fast and Furious, not to be confused with The Fast and the Furious. This is the fourth installment in the series, directed by Justin Lin, and it brings back all the main characters from the original story. And this, it doesn't have a lot new to say about this story. I mean, it's Vin Diesel and Paul Walker driving fast cars around, and they get involved with, of course, the seedy underworld, and then they're kind of riding the line between the good guys and the bad guys. But I mean, there's fast cars in it, and it really is just another movie. It's must have been time for another paycheck. So
yeah, well, and it's the big draw obviously is that the entire original cast is back, and I don't know if that's a commentary on their careers or not, because they all left at one point or another because they were going to be big shots in other franchises, and it didn't work out. But the movie's already made $70-some million in its opening weekend, so clearly there's still an audience for this stuff, and I think just the fact that Vin Diesel and Paul Walker and Jordana Brewster and very briefly Michelle Rodriguez came back was, I think, enough to draw people back into the theaters. And I thought the first The Fast and the Furious was a decent enough movie. I mean, it's thinly plotted and the characters are relatively shallow, but it was an entertaining action movie.
Enjoyable.
And it had that niche where it's paying homage to this street racing subculture. And now it's not really. I mean, it features that, but it's more like it's pandering to that audience really than anything else. And because that sort of subculture has become such a big deal, thanks in part to this franchise, it doesn't have that.
Well, it's not something new and interesting to see anymore.
Right.
That was one of the things about the first one, is that seeing the computers and the body work and the engine work that they do to these cars was really interesting to see, and now it's just that same stuff all over again.
Yeah, and Paul Walker still can't act. I mean, he substitutes intensity for, anytime there's supposed to be something dramatic going on, he just starts yelling and squinting his eyes and everything, which, I don't know, maybe that's acting.
And Vin Diesel's good at growling his dialogue. And the thing that I think is most frustrating is I like Vin Diesel as an actor. I mean, when he's giving something good, when he was in Boiler Room, he did an excellent job on that movie. That was an excellent movie by all the cast, but he was really enjoyable, and I think he's kind of getting pigeonholed into these action hero type of roles.
I think he's pigeonholed himself, but but regardless, I mean, there's an audience for this movie clearly. Unfortunately, the plot is so paper thin, and the whole cast isn't really expanding their acting chops with it. And like Matt said, the whole street racing thing is worn thin, so there's not really much left, so skip it.
Yep.
We'll be right back.